Shit, my bad.
In Dallas. Fox's Peyton Yeager tells us what happened in the moments leading up to the attack, along with the suspect's criminal history.
37-year-old Yordanis Cobos Martinez, a Cuban national, sits in the Dallas County Jail charged with capital murder. He's on an immigration hold, now accused of beheading his boss at a Dallas motel Wednesday morning. Cobos Martinez was arrested half a block away, wearing a white T-shirt covered in blood. Public records show at the time of the murder, Cobos Martinez had an active warrant for a probation violation out of California. Back in 2017, Cobos Martinez carjacked a woman in South Lake Tahoe while he was naked. A jury convicted him in 2023 and sentenced him to a 1.5 year prison time. Wow. Earlier this year, ICE confirms to Fox News Cobos Martinez was released from ICE custody on January 13th, despite his removal order, due to Cuba not wanting to take him back. 9 months later, on Wednesday, investigators say Cobos Martinez became angry at the downtown suites south of I-30 because his boss wasn't able to speak to him in Spanish. New details from an arrest affidavit reveal a witness told police the suspect was set off and pulled out a machete, stabbing and cutting 50-year-old Chandra Nagamalaya several times, eventually beheading him. Thursday, Fox 4 was sent a fundraiser for Nagamalaya's family, calling the killing sudden and deeply traumatic. It reads his life was taken in a brutal attack that occurred in front of his wife and son, who bravely tried to protect him.
And that was Payne Yeager reporting. Dallas police say the suspect was taken to the hospital for a blood draw to see if anything was in his system. Investigators still waiting on those results.
Talk about having PTSD for the kid and the fucking wife. Oh my God.
You know what's crazy too is like his other prior arrests. He was naked and he had kidnapped a woman. How does he only get a 1.5 years in prison for that?
That's messed up.
And the motherfucker was already in an ICE detention center, and his home country said we don't want him, so they let that boy back on the streets.
You know what that said?
You know what's crazy? Hold on, Lee. Like it's an incident like this too that is gonna further their agenda. They're gonna be like, look, this is what happens when they're in our country and blah blah blah. You know what I mean? This is a very unfortunate, traumatic, fucking horrible, horrific situation. This dude straight up beheaded a dude because he didn't speak Spanish, bruh. That was crazy, bruh. And he just had the machete on him. Like, this is a guy that was waiting for someone to set him off. The dude had the machete on him.
That's just
top of the morning, Mrs. Crooked.
What up, Mrs. Crooked? Yeah, that
sounds like he was on Sherm.
Listen, I was gonna say that because naked and kidnapping the woman, bro. Even the beheading thing, bro. He's on the PCP, bro. That dude is on angel dust. He's on the Sherm stick.
What you was gonna say, Lee, about the ICE shit?
As soon as Cuba wouldn't take him, you're like, hey man, that's a red flag right there.
Right, like what the fuck? So what is the protocol if your country don't take you back? Because like no matter what, if you fuck up and you here illegally, you're gonna do some time here and you gotta go 100%.
Yeah.
So why the fuck?
So he gets released. His country doesn't want him in,
huh?
So when his country denies him from deportation, right? So then they just essentially release him to the streets and go, all right, go to a sanctuary state, because isn't Texas considered a sanctuary state?
Hell no, that ain't no sanctuary state.
So why is he in Texas then? Because the other one happened in California, bro. Like,
sorry, if you do that to someone, you deserve the exactly same thing back. I'm sorry.
I mean, I don't disagree with that. But at the same time,
I don't believe in capital punishment.
This is like a loophole.
Come on, now.
It's a loophole. It's a loophole. The country didn't want you back. They try to send you back, man. They just so what? I would imagine you would just detain them still. Like I don't get that.
That's what I'm trying to say, bro. Like, look, you're ICE. You're a federal fucking law enforcement agency that's been raiding shit all through the country since Brudden been in fucking presidency, whatever the fuck you want to call it, right?
Yeah.
How the fuck does this man already got a criminal record if he's naked and he did this shit in California? He's a
Hey, how does he only
pedophile
get
or
a
he's
year
a
and a
sex
half in the
crime.
beat
That's what I'm
for
confused
that crime?
He got sex crimes and then he carjacked somebody. Sex crimes and a carjacking, bro. You done did a violent crime on top of sex crime with it. You gotta sit down for more than a year.
Kidnapping. They said kidnapping was one of the charges.
Yeah, kidnapping was the other one.
So how the fuck does he only get a year and a half for that charge?
It shows our system is messed up.
But see, that's the thing. So he has multiple convictions, and if he's an illegal alien, there's no way he should be on the streets, bro. Because if you fuck up in this country and you here illegally, you gotta go.
That's what I'm saying. And it's like, I mean, look at motherfuckers that they weren't born here, but then they'll still smooth send them back to the country. They was born, even though they was raised completely out here, they ain't got nowhere. They just sending them back. But Cuba, he said this was Cuba. He's a Cuban national.
Yeah.
Cuba just opened their the American visas up for Americans to visit and shit like that. They're real serious. They're like like Canada is serious, where they don't just let anybody in. So they probably are like, look, we don't want him. You know what I mean? We don't want him back. You keep him. We just barely opened the visas up, letting you Americans in here. Why are we just going? We trying to get rid of the criminals.
That's fucked up though. That motherfucker gotta sit. He gotta sit down. But see, that's the thing though. Like right before he did the beheading, did he serve his time? You know what I mean? And say like, oh, okay. You know, if he had to go sit down and he did all his time, they let him out on probation. But yet, that's only if you're a citizen. That's only if you're a citizen of this motherfucker. If you go do something. That is true.
Because normally it'd be, well, like I said,
and you get to stay here. You know what I mean? But that's
with
if
the
you're
new
a citizen.
He supposed to have been deported, but this is the first time I've ever heard of somebody being denied.
This is the first time that I heard somebody letting ICE let them out.
Let them go.
100%. And this
motherfucker's people for nothing. And they let this guy go. See, this is what I'm saying, bro. And you know, I am Fedora the Explorer today, but you know what I mean? I kind of got my conspiracy hat on. This is that type of shit that they're going to publicize crazy too, to be like, look, this is why we need to enforce the ICE laws and this, that, and the third.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Sure.
Well, a lot of this is going to change when foreign policy is affected by all this. With
facts,
when they raided that Hyundai plant, what they potentially did was delay construction on a plant which is thousands of jobs. Creating and doing big projects like that, there's a lot of work to be done. So a lot of people are losing, their paychecks because of this removal of special visa workers who were there to train us how to operate machines that we didn't create or build. They shipped the equipment and we installed it. And we built the facility, and now we need them to come here and program the machines and train people on how to operate the equipment to manufacture things. This is the very thing that Trump wanted to do in the first place. Bring manufacturing to the United States. Well, guess what? Trump's policy right now is preventing manufacturing in that city of Georgia, which needs jobs. And the loss of this plant, the delay of it, inevitably, I don't think they're going to lose it. But the delay of all this stuff, it's gonna cost people to change their lives and potentially drop this career and move to a different city or state and get a new job. You know, because they can't wait around a year to resume the process of getting this factory built, because Americans can't do it. They literally can't, because it's not our equipment. We didn't build it. We don't know anything about this stuff. So they have to come over here and literally show us what to do.
That's some crazy shit, bro.
And what other nations and other traders are looking at now is like, hey, why would we want to invest resources to build in the United States when we're not American. But it sounds like if we go to the United States right now and we try to work and do something even the right way, we're going to get detained and deported back to our, residence. And inhumanely, by the way. There's a lawsuit going out saying that these 500 employees were mistreated in the process. And I've seen some videos and stuff because they're smart individuals. These are like engineers and scientists and stuff that, So when they're getting held hostage, basically, they're sharing this like small space. The food that they were eating was like mess slop. Like it was worse than any military ration. And then the showers and everything were all open and exposed and nasty looking. Kind of like it just like these people didn't deserve that, in the first place to be removed from their jobs. And now, yeah. He's trying. I just read an article that he's trying to, collateral damage more or less with other foreign traders to say, hey, don't be afraid to come to the United States and start business. And this was more or less a mistake. But this
backfiring.
But this is his, administration enacting this whole fucking program to get these workers out of the plant. It's like that's not what we voted for anyways. Like you were saying, get the criminals out of here. Cool. But fucking grandma and grandpa and these Koreans that are trying to help us manufacture things that was the whole purpose of the whole fucking thing anyways. Like
Come on
this guy's a
Yeah.
fucking asshole.
100%. I don't got no problem. Hey, look, especially the motherfuckers that's here building shit. You feel me? Whether you building houses, you building motherfucking cars, you building businesses, you're an entrepreneur, or you go 9 to 5, as long as you're a productive citizen, bro, 100%, you ain't out here causing ruckus, especially in the community that you live in. See, a lot of motherfuckers, especially if they come here illegally, and don't have the aspirations of getting educated, or fuck education, just being a productive citizen, and you out here causing ruckus, especially in the community that you live in. Now you're causing trouble to motherfuckers surrounding you, bruh. It's bad enough that you already you here illegally, then you want to be causing ruckus, and you're doing it where you fucking lay at. Don't shit where you lay at. It's bad enough that you shitting already, You should be here, the land of the free, the opportunity, 100%, even though sometimes you got to do a little wrong to get right, 100%, because you can take that how you want to, 100%, because I've seen it, 100%.
Yeah,
from where I'm from,
it happens on every level.
100%, big bro, on my mom. But my main thing is like everybody should have the opportunity. So if you here trying to get the opportunity to make it and you doing it right, hey, man, so be it, 100%. But also, if you get here illegally, man, you need to go try and do the steps of trying to be here, especially if you want to be here and you done built shit, what I mean? Because the motherfuckers that been here like
look at like this.
Grandpa that's fully established, they done been here for generations, then got all types of shit going on. Now they got to go back home.
Hey, look at this. My Uncle Pete, right? Shout out to my Uncle Pete. He came to America 2001. And when I never asked none of this shit until when we was just in Vegas a couple weeks ago, right? Because he was out there. So that first night we was out there was part of my Uncle Pete. I'm in his house. He's a homeowner now. He's been doing his trucker thing for like 20 years type of shit. And I asked him, what was that process like coming to America? He said, man, you got to fill out all this paperwork and you got to tell them about what you're going to do in America. Wow. They asked you, so what are you going to do here? And he's like, so my dad, they already had it all planned out for him. You're going to be a trucker. You're going to this, that, that, because they have to be able to, okay, so you're going to contribute to society. Okay, visa for this amount of time. And you keep renewing it. And all the while applying to become a citizen. Finally gets his citizenship after 15 years. Shout out to my man Attila. He came from Hungary back in 1999.
Attila.
Yeah, and Attila, he just got his citizenship in 2020 or whatever it was. So he was like real excited. He's like, yeah, I can own guns now. You know what I mean? Like,
come on now.
Because he's a big gun guy. You know what I mean? But, you know, before that, he's like, and then look at this. He was on a visa this whole time here. Even so much so, they won't let you be a citizen. You have to go through the ringer. But then they let him be a Marine, and he fought in the war and all the shit. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They let you join the Marines and the service, all the shit.
He still wasn't a full citizen yet, but they let him join.
He was just on a visa.
They do that all the time.
Yeah, but it's so, you know, it's a whole process just to be a citizen. That's why, like, you know what's easier than that? Just show up.
Come on now.
Yeah, that's true.
Just find your way in this motherfucker and then just go to work. That's
how they do it. 100%, man. On my mama, man. 100%. Like, shout out to Mrs. Crooked for tapping in with us. 100%. She said he did do enough time. Just like the hot roll case. If the dad did the correct amount of time and stayed in the jail, then baby Emmanuel will probably still be alive. I'm not too familiar with that case. Please forgive me. And rest in peace to the baby. You know what I mean?
Rest in peace.
Is that the bicycle guy?
Shit, I don't know. I haven't heard about that case.
I don't know either.
Yeah,
bro. I think it's the case of where it's similar though, where they let dude out after he did his time, and he instead of getting deported.
Cold world, bro.
I'm assuming because it does ring a bell a little bit because, you know, Lee.
All right, here it is. The Haro case involved the disappearance and presumed murder of a 7-month-old Emmanuel Haro in California, where their parents were arrested, and after allegedly faking his kidnapping, though Emmanuel's body has not been found, authorities believe his death was a result of prolonged child abuse.
Yeah, there's people in the United States, all over the world, man. Unfortunately, it's a reality. Children are abused and malnourished and basically treated like garbage.
Yeah, it is crazy when you hear shit like this because, you know, we quote unquote live in a first world country. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Live in and I think that's one thing that got me off the Facebook back in the days, right? Because, I mean, you know, when everyone's jumping on Facebook back in the day, like, you know, 10, 15, 16 years ago type of shit.
Yeah.
Right?
It reminds me of Breaking Bad.
But after a couple years on the Facebook, I remember I just got off it. It was like, oh, where'd you go? I was like, I'm tired of seeing, like, crazy shit from all around the world all the time.
Yeah, no news is good news.
You know, a child getting raped or you know, a kidnapping or a murder of a child, you know, unspeakable shit because it's flooded to you.
Well, especially when you have kids too.
We have a pipeline to this information, though. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And you know, you are what you eat. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with what you consume. You know, as far as content wise too. So some of that shit was just fuck with me. I'm like, I'm just gonna get off Facebook. And you know, especially back then when they were already doing things algorithmically. So it's like if you watch a bunch of this shit, they just keep flooding you with shit like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, motherfucker don't want to start their day off or in the middle of the day or in their day off looking at that shit because also it fuck with you the whole time. You know what I'm saying? 100%. Motherfucker don't want to be.
Even one of my Instagrams, my music Instagram, every time I go on there, it's all people getting jumped and beat up and shit. I'm like, yo, somewhere along the way, I just kept watching fools like recording each other fighting and shit. Or recording fights, or you know what I mean? Just fuck shit.
Hey, Peacock said, whack, ICE letting guys go, guys like this go, but rounding up other people trying to work at Home Depot, 100%, bro.
See, that's what I'm saying, bro.
Cold world, and they getting rough with them. Then we had an incident in Sacramento. We had an incident in Sacramento where the ICE was at the Home Depot, and a dude was recording it, right? But he from California, he's a citizen, right? But they roughed him up because that motherfucker was videoing the ICE roughing up the people that's at the Home Depot. That shit went viral, bro. Oh my mama, 100%. Cold
now, JD, did you see that thing I sent you that was right in Sacramento?
Yeah, about the little baby. Yeah, that was on Florence Road too. On my mama,
we was what was it called? I sent it to the group chat. It was they passed a law, or at least I don't know if do you want to say a law, a bill, but it's basically so you can racially profile.
What?
Yes, the way they word it, it's essentially racially profiling. They're like, you know, anyone of Hispanic descent must provide, XYZ paperwork or proof of whatever the fuck, otherwise being detained until further notice. And then like the politician that's hella pushing this shit, when they asked him, he didn't deny anything. He said, this is basically racial profiling. He's like, and you know what I mean? And then he goes, and he says, well, but what's the big deal? If they are truly who they say they are, they'll get released eventually. But it's funny when you say, well, what's the big deal? They might sit down for a little while, maybe a couple days, weeks. What's the big deal if they're who they say they are? And it's so funny because they say, what's the big deal? Because it'll never happen to them. You know what I mean? And the politician was a white dude, for the record. You know what I mean? Like,
damn.
You know what I mean? Just